So today we're going to talk about knee pads, especially youth knee pads for kids really 8 on up. They even work really good for small adults. So these are some pads that hopefully you'll get to know a little bit better through our little video, and that will help you make good decisions for the pads that you're choosing for your children. With that, we'll just jump right in and talk about these different ones and why we like them and why we think that they are really good for your family. So the first pad is POC VPD system knee pads, and these are my son Cruz, his favorite knee pads. He just loves them. He's 12 and he likes them for a variety of reasons. He loves the POC name. He loves that the pros are wearing them. He loves that when he's riding down the trail, it gives him a little, a little something extra to kind of say, hey, I ride a lot. But I like them for a variety of other reasons. First, they're extremely comfortable. They're a pad that's set up really, really well for a kid to wear all day long and kind of forget that they're wearing pads. It has a full sleeve, and the sleeve just pulls up their leg. Has a nice strap that has some more, style of material there that'll give nice stiction to the leg, both on the calf and then right below the knee. Once again, it's just super, super comfortable. It's got a lot of flex to it, but also hardens really well when it has an impact. He rides really with these on all the time. In fact, most days he wears them all day long because he thinks he's going to go riding at some point during the day. So if you need just a great all-around downhill, light downhill to full cross country and just rides through the neighborhood where you're going to get a little rowdy, the POC VPD youth pads are awesome, and really, once again, high choice on our decision list. We have the G-Form knee pads, and we have two different styles here. This particular one is the Pro X version, and this is the Pro Slide version. Not a whole lot of differences between the two. The Pro Slide has a more fabric feel to the pad, where the Pro X has a much more plasticky feel to the pad itself. But they both form very well to the leg and very well to the knee. And in fact, that's what G-Form's really well known for, is how comfortable these pads are. It's extremely easy to forget you're wearing these pads. They are not intended necessarily to be a downhill style pad. Sure, they'll give some protection, but it's not intended for those really rocky, rowdy trail systems where you're going to have some pretty serious, crazy impacts. The way it works is basically you have material inside the pad that once it's hit with a force, then that force will cause the pad to harden, and that in turn helps little knees or big knees and elbows and other places these pads can be to be protected. My kids wear these a lot. These are especially worn when we go to our local bike trails. It's just a good pad that keeps them comfortable all day long and just helps them enjoy the trails. It's also nice because these particular pads are pretty comfortable in the summer. They don't get extremely sweaty. They do get some, but not to the point where you feel so sweaty you have to take them off. They're also great in the wintertime because they allow for a little warmth to be kept on the leg as well. Once again, my kids love these. These are a great buy. If you're not into downhill style riding, I would purchase these over just about any other pad. They just work really well, and like I say, they've been a good resource for us. Lastly, they have tend to hold up really well as well. They don't overstretch or don't seem to overstretch. They go through the wash occasionally, and are just fine. Troy Lee Designs makes a nice youth knee pad. These are kind of hard to find now. They don't have them on their Troy Lee website anymore, but usually you can do just a simple Google search and they pull up. These are intended more for a downhill style of a pad, especially for youth. They have good coverage. You have a good kneecap coverage, and then you also have some coverage that extends a little farther down the knee. My boys like these pads, although they're not their go-to favorite pads. Beckham, my middle son, really his go-to pad is the G-Form pad unless we're doing something really, really rowdy. And in that case, he'll usually wear these pads. These pads are a little big on him right now, but they work and they meet his need. They are comfortable. They are a full sleeve. They also do have the material in the top that really helps them to stick to the leg. Once again, they're a good pad. They've held up pretty well. We actually got these pads secondhand, and they have seen new life at our home and still been a good pad. When you're looking at knee pads, I personally am never afraid to look secondhand. I think there's a lot of good stuff out there that sometimes our friends or others that we know in our community just didn't use very much, or their kids outgrew really fast, and to get it secondhand can be just amazing. So Troy Leatt Designs knee pads, once again, they're a great buy. The pad that I want to talk about is the Leatt pads. This is a EXT junior knee pad, and these are great pads. They're a hard shell pad. This is both a knee and a shin pad, and really this is set up for your downhill days. They're a fantastic pad. We have a lot of friends that wear the Leatt pads, and they really love them. Quick shout out to our friends at Backyard Shredder. If you know Jake very well, Jake loves his Leatt pads, and he wears them a lot. In fact, he usually has a nice farmer's tan that shows his Leatt pads. Crews will wear these for downhill days and chairlift days. They're really set up for him better that way. He doesn't prefer to pedal in them. It's not necessarily that they're uncomfortable, but they're just not as comfortable as his POC ones or even the G-form ones. So once again, the Leatt pads, they are a great pad, but I would personally set them aside more for your downhill days. With that being said, it doesn't mean that you couldn't use them as an all-around pad. They definitely can be. They just take a little more break-in and a little more get used to style of riding. But once you get past that, they can be a great option. They do form fit around the back of the leg. They do have a sleeve, and then of course you have a strap that goes around your ankle to allow for the shin guard protection. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope maybe that gave you some information that will help you find some good pads for your kids. And if you have other pads that you'd like to share with us as far as like info or experiences you've had, we'd love to hear about it. Leave us a comment, drop us an instant message, whatever. We'd love to talk and just kind of feel it out and see what you're loving. If you have pads you want to send us that we could give a shot and a tryout to as well, we'd certainly love to do that. I love making these videos. I hope that they're informative to you. Leave us a like, give us a comment, double tap the Instagram feed, share it with those that you are riding with, and hopefully that will help them to get some good information on kids' safety gear. So until the next one, thank you and enjoy your riding.